today's playlist, hello, is restorative. And the first song is Southern Sea. And let's get started at a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can press your buttons. This is such a pretty cello. All right, so sitting up nice and tall. Close your eyes if that feels comfortable. You can fiddle around until you feel really connected to the earth. And then once you find that connection, just lift your hips up so that they're moving away from your thighs. So usually we sit a little forward and stick our butts back. So here it's gonna encourage us to use our abdominal muscles and lengthen all the way up from what's connected to the earth to what's trying to connect to the sky. And then just move around your chin a little bit. Notice, try to find neutral. And bring your mind's eye back into your breath. Noticing the breath, sensations, physical sensations coming in through your nose, and then just following that down. Noticing the sound of the breath. Maybe even the sound of the breath and its accompanying music that's coming through your speakers. Moving to your energetic or energy level. How are you today? And then trying to rein in your mindset. So, we start off, usually at the beginning of the class, we've got 1,000 things in our heads. And as we start to, pay more attention to the rhythm of the breath, the way it makes you feel, the things in your head start to move away, not so important. So let's start with a little bit of neck movement. So we'll take our right ear and we'll drop it towards our right shoulder. And then bring the chin down towards the right shoulder, bringing it kind of on a diagonal down. And then lift it up on the same diagonal. And you can continue moving back and forth if that's doing it for you. If there's one spot in here that's really working for you, stay with that spot. And then don't be afraid to veer off the track. So if you find something with your chin up, dropping the chin again towards the left shoulder, go for it. Beautiful. And then bring your chin back into neutral and reach the back of the ears forward as you feel this outer upper arms reach or roll back. Inhale, lift the head up towards the ceiling. And exhale, bring it back down. Inhale, lift it up. If you want, you can blow a kiss up to the ceiling, pouting your lips. And then back of the neck lifts up nice and high as the chin comes down. Upper arm still reaching back for a nicer stretch through the lats. And one last time. This time bring your head back to neutral. And we'll drop the left ear towards the left shoulder. Drop the chin towards the left shoulder now. Back of the neck nice and long. And then you can start to move in this diagonal way, up and down, looking up towards the ceiling, and then back down. And if there are any stops along the way that you'd like to make, feel free. As you bring your chin back towards the left shoulder, draw the back of the ears forward and roll back through the center. Sitting up nice and tall, feel the upper arms reaching back as you look towards the floor. Inhale, lift up, look up. And then back down. And up. Maybe blowing a kiss. And then back down. And one last time, chin back to neutral. Beautiful. Let's take our right hand to our left knee. Left hand behind, look back over your left shoulder. And then inhale, keeping the chin neutral, look over your front shoulder. To the back, exhale. To the front, inhale. Last time. And then as you come forward, let's do a little nodding yes. Feeling the left shoulder opening up behind you, so bicep rolling towards the back wall. Excellent. Bring your chin back through neutral, take that left arm, wrap it across the body, round in. Come into a bit of a cat pose. If you want to lift your knees here to really round back into the body, you can. And then as you inhale, bend the elbows and roll yourself up and look up. Exhale, round back. Then inhale and up. Excellent, last time. Beautiful, we'll slide our legs back down and take our right hand back behind us. Lengthening from tailbone up through crown of the head, chin neutral, look over your back shoulder. And look over your front shoulder. Exhaling back. And forward. Last time like that. And then as you come forward, keeping the right bicep rolling back, nod the head, yes, 3 times. Excellent. Let's take that back hand, come forward. Again, you can lift your knees up as you round back into a cat. Inhale, pull on the elbows, roll yourself up, cow pose. Exhale back. And inhale and up. Last time, exhale, round back. Beautiful. And then inhale, come all the way back up. You can release legs, cross in the opposite direction. And we'll do one more set of this one for the shoulders. So this one, Amina, is to get into that spot. We'll take the arms out to the side. We'll cross the arms on top of one another and then grab the palms. If the palms don't connect, the backs of the hands will, or so do the shoulders. Okay? And now just taking a moment to find that, drop the shoulders down in any of the positions so that the heart starts to lift up. And feel the upper outer arms reaching forward. Now we're going to lift the elbows up and feel how the shoulder blades are rolling up with the elbows. And then exhale, bringing the elbows down. So if your hands are together, keep pressing them into one another. Feel that roll up. Keep going as high as you can, and then as low as you can. Inhale up. And down. Last one. Now let's take our hands to our forehead. Elbows still together. And start to lift the elbows up. Pulling the bottom ribs back behind you. So upper back bend here, reach the elbows away. Feel the bottom tip of the shoulder blade reaching the heart up. And then soften. You'll come into a spot, you'll feel it, so there's a lot of hold here. But then if you realize, oh, I'm doing the holding, you can relax your shoulders down, relax your facial features. Just start to feel everything starting to soften, and maybe the heart will slowly and quietly start to make its way up. Beautiful. All right, coming back down, elbows to neutral, release. Just notice, so my right hand is on top, I'm going to take the arms out to the side. And drop the shoulders a little bit, palms together like laser fingers. And let's do some circles. And try to make your circles round and that takes a little effort. And you can start to make them bigger. And bigger. And as big as you can. All right, let's switch directions. Now we're starting to make them smaller. Keep that heart lifted, sides of the waist long, belly in, smaller. And then hold. And soften the shoulders and feel the heart starting to make its way first up and out of the chest, kind of up towards the chin, but then also reaching out. It's long legs or roots from the heart out to the fingertips. Can you do this pose without creating tension in your neck, shoulders, or jaw, but just creating strength in the arms? And it's hard. Beautiful. We're going to release, take a little shake, and then we'll take that left arm, cross it over, which is like, oh, who knew? Who knew that would be so challenging? And then palms either together, backs the hands together, or elbows onto the shoulders. We lift the arms up as high as they go, noticing now that the arms can move a little bit more because we've already warmed them up. And then down as low as they'll go. Inhale up as high as they go. Exhale down as low. Keep going. 3. 4. And last one. Bring your hands back into neutral. We're going to take the hands to the forehead. Soften the shoulders down. Feel the sides of the ribs draw back. And then as the elbows lift, we're feeling almost traction from empire waist down, but the upper back is softening so that the heart can lift. Beautiful. Release the hands back to neutral and stretch them out. And just hold. Hold. Everybody feeling that? Yeah, I know. Let's come onto our hands and knees. And layers can start to come off. As you can see, the body doesn't take long to warm up. All right, so start with a little cat and cow. Just make sure as you set up your hands that your shoulders and your wrists are lined up. Wrists are facing forward, hands are spread wide, but not super wide, just wide enough that there's space between each finger. Start with our toes curled under and round ourselves up into a nice big cat pose. And you can roll a little bit over to the right, come back through center, roll a little over to the left, come back through center. Pull the hands and feet towards each other as you round yourself through cow pose. And here, draw your hips back a little bit. And then coming forward, as far forward as it feels comfortable in the wrists. And then back into neutral, and now coming back up into cat pose. Let's do some circles around the wrists. Nice and gentle. And then switch directions. Beautiful. And then coming back into neutral, come into a flat back position. We'll take our fingers out to the side. And as we come into cow pose, again, we'll just rock a little bit from side to side. Let that heart melt. Feel the bottom ribs drawing up a little bit so that we're not just splaying everything out in our cow pose. There's a bit of containment. All right, and our last one, if it works for you, would be to take the hands back behind you, palms facing, or fingers facing you. Now, you can do this one hand at a time, if the two hands is too much. Or you can keep your hands in this position if it's too much, okay? And let's just do one big set of cat. And one big set of cow. Beautiful. Roll through your fingers, palms up, fingers up, and come sit. And let's just lift the arms up, grab hold of the left wrist, lengthen up and over to the right. Now you can come up here if sitting on your knees doesn't work. Now roll the left shoulder back so the heart lifts up towards the hand in the air. And then inhale all the way back up, grab hold of the right wrist, lift up, drop the shoulder, and all the way over towards the left. So you can still be seated here if that works for you too. Just make sure in this position, again, that the shoulder blade is not rolling forward, it's lengthening back, or the heart is lifting up towards that hand in the air. Excellent, come back up. Release the hands back behind you, interlace them, and feel the biceps roll out towards the triceps. As we exhale, we're going to bring our forehead towards the floor. Now you can be here on the meditation pillow or something so the floor is not that far away. And if this works for you, coming into Yoga Mudra, you're going to roll onto the top of the head and lift the hands up. So with your head on the floor, and here with this position, keep your mind's eye rooting your feet into the floor so the weight is not just dumped into your head. Lengthen the crown, lengthen the fingers up away from the body. So again, take some lightness, create lightness. And have it settle in here for a minute or two, feeling a little bit of the blood pumping to your head. Excellent. We're going to release the hands back down and just drop into child's pose, dropping the forehead down to the floor. If that doesn't work, taking your forearms and resting your head on your forearms. Breathe. Excellent. All right, we're going to come up and let's slide that right leg forward as we slide the left leg back. Okay, so you can hold on to the edge of the mat here as you feel again the heart reaching a little bit forward. The upper arms drawing back, collarbones nice and wide. And you can start to rock the hips a little bit from side to side. And as you start to get comfortable here, as you start to rock a little bit more from side to side, you can start to see if you can see that back foot from both directions. And the last thing you want to do here is try to keep the back foot from moving at all, even as you rock yourself around that leg. Excellent. All right, coming back through center, lift up, and then peel yourself over that front leg. Let the forehead come towards the floor. Inhale, roll all the way back up. So again, if you find something in this little baby pigeon prep cobra, you can stay up here, or you can start to roll and fold and come down and up. Take about 5 breaths in either one of those two. If you find something more in bringing your forehead to the floor here, then take the last 3 breaths to just stay there. Excellent. All right, let's walk our hands back so they're underneath the shoulders again. Press down, lift that left knee off the mat, stretch back, downward facing dog. And notice, pedal out the legs here. Feel that work through the right back side of the leg. Let the back of the neck be long. Feel the arms working hard here as you pedal out the feet. And then look forward, we'll slide that left leg forward and stretch the right leg back, hips stay level. You can hold on to the edges of the mat again as you start to rock, hip to hip. So again, as we move from side to side, notice, does it feel limited on one side than the other? That's always something to pay attention to. You want to see if you can look to see the foot from both directions. And then if all that feels okay, then try not to move that back leg as you rock from side to side. Excellent. All right, coming back into neutral, lift the heart, hold on to your cobra here, or you can fold yourself down. Or for the next couple of breaths, you can do any of those 3 movements, just staying still, moving, I guess it's 4, up or down. Excellent. Here's our last breath. And then walk your hands back in again underneath your shoulders. Lift your back knee off the floor. Press into your hands. Slide that left leg back, and it's downward facing dog. Pedal out your legs again. And then start to walk your hands towards the back of the mat, coming into a forward fold, bending your knees if you need to, letting the back of the head be long. And then starting to make your way all the way up, one vertebrae at a time. Once you're up, press the feet into the floor, stretch the arms up. Palms together. Exhale, slide the hands down through your heart. Heart up into your hands. Beautiful. Take a moment in your mountain pose, feeling the four corners of your feet root down to the floor. Taking a moment to soften through the backs of the kneecaps as you root down more, feeling the hips root down, and from the hips, that juncture of both rooting down and lengthening up right out through the crown of the head. Beautiful. Let's take our hands to our hips and walk our feet together. You're going to bend your knees a little bit and just start to make circles to the knees. Now you can hold on to your hips here, or you can go a little deeper and hold on to the knees as you round them in a circle. And then switch directions. So we're trying to make this nice round circular motion. We're noticing the sensations that come with this. If there are any, are they unusual? Something to pay attention to, or just, just day-to-day aching pain. Beautiful. Stop, press down, roll yourself up. Press down through the foot. Let's take our right leg and we'll lift it up. And you can hold on to the back of the knee if you want, or you can do this with your hands on your hips. Feel the inner thighs of both legs spin back a little bit. You'll notice the body shift into a more comfortable and rooted position down through that left leg. Just some circles with that ankle. 1, 2, 3, 4. Soften through that back of the left knee. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch directions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Now, let's feel again the inner thighs spin back. If you fall over, just drop your foot. Press down through the left leg again, lift up. And then as the inner thighs draw back behind you, draw that left knee in. Hold. Feel your glute on the left side activate so that it can hold you here better. One more breath. And then slowly release that leg back down. Press down to the floor. Let's start to lift up our left leg. Inner thighs both spin back. It'll change your positioning. It'll make you feel more grounded. Circles through that left leg. 10 in one direction. And then 10 in the other. Beautiful. From there, lifting that leg up, hugging it in, inner thighs both spit back a little bit more, softness through the back of that right knee. And then slowly release. Beautiful. Sweep, lift your arms up over the head, stretch. And then let's exhale and fold forward, hands to the heart, and just roll yourself down. Drop the head down and start to feel yourself moving incrementally down the spine. Until your hands can touch the floor. And then just start to walk your hands forward again, coming into downward facing dog. We're going to look forward and take our right leg forward. Lengthen, feel your foot, left foot root you into the floor, and see if you can from that back foot, lengthen all the way up and out through the crown of the head. Pull that right shin back a little bit, and then see if you can take your hands off the floor. Hold. knee and ankle lined up in the front, so there's a nice connection of the joints doing the work together. Back leg is pulling back towards the front leg pulling back towards the back, and the head reaching away from that back heel. Beautiful. One more breath here. And then we're going to take our hands back down, tap the back knee, and stretch the front leg straight. And if you want to walk that foot up a little higher, you can. Press the right heel into the floor, feel the whole outside of that leg reaching back behind you. And if you want here, you can take your left hand to the floor or to a block, which will make this pose so much more pleasant because it's not as deep a hamstring stretch. We're going to take that right arm and stretch it up. Now try to notice here that the front of the chest is the open part, the back of the chest feels just as open, and that right shoulder doesn't feel as if it's too far back. When it's too far back, you get that sensation in the back of, like in the middle of the shoulder blade. Actually, in a position like this, you shouldn't feel it. So if you've gone too far, it's because you've taken your hand to try to lift the shoulder as opposed to trying to take the belly and open yourself up. Beautiful. Exhale, let's come back down. And just do a little bit of rocking back and forth. So if your back knee or left knee is bothering you, put something underneath it, like a cushion, a blanket, a little pillow, something to give it a little bit of, cushioning. All right, as we come forward now, we'll lift that back leg up again. And if you want, this time you can keep going, lifting your arms up over the head. That's up to you. You can also just stay in this position. Beautiful. One last breath up here, hugging everything to the midline. And then both hands come back down to the floor. We'll move through a vinyasa. So we'll take that right leg back, stretch up in your downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into plank, tap the knees to the floor. And from the hands pulling towards knees, reach the head away. Knees will roll themselves a little forward and then slowly come down to the mat. Inch the feet back a little bit. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Feel the pelvis press into the floor. And just start to roll yourself up into this little baby cobra with your hands with the hands not moving. So the hands right underneath the breast. Loop the shoulders. As the tailbone reaches back, reach the heart forward and maybe a little up. Back of the neck long. Breathe. Belly in, side waist, hugging in. You can lift the arms up if you want. Exhale, come back down. And let's take those arms a little wide and do some circles with the shoulders. And then find the shoulders in the shoulder girdle and start to peel yourself off the mat. And here, if there's a spot that's really working for you, you can just stay there. Just kind of wiggle around it a little bit. Beautiful. Exhale, roll back down, slide the hands back, press hands and knees into the floor to lift yourself up and spirit yourself all the way back into child's pose. And as you stay in your child's pose for a couple of breaths, just feel the hips, use your hands maybe to create a little bit more intensity as you draw the thigh bones back into the hip sockets a little bit more. You can wiggle around here a little bit more, feeling all these lovely little feels. And then we're going to make our way back up and we'll take our left leg forward. Back knee's going to lift up. There, now you can kind of see what's going on. So I wiggle back my foot so that the sole of the back foot is parallel to the floor as opposed to, sorry, perpendicular to the floor as opposed to the heel reaching out. And here again, you can keep your hands on the floor, you can lift up, lengthening. Left glute is engaged, not squeezing, but you should feel it. And the more you pull that left shin back, the more you're gonna feel that action in the left glute. Breathe. Beautiful, one last breath here. Then we're gonna take our hands back down to the floor, we'll drop the back knee. Just do a little bit of rocking first. Beautiful, and then our next one, we're gonna stay back here, hold. Plant the right hand down, lengthen, and just take that left arm and sweep it up. Keep pressing the left heel into the floor, drawing that hip back, lengthening the crown of the head forward. Breathe. Excellent. We're going to release that hand back down and just slide back and forth. Little bit of this movement. Excellent. Inhale, we'll come forward. This time we'll step the back leg forward and fold. Let the back of the neck be long here. And then we're going to roll ourselves up one vertebrae at a time. So pressing into the floor, feel your feet, slide your hands up the legs. Really attach yourself to the incremental movements of the spine. Stretch the arms up over the head. Beautiful. We'll slide our hands down to our hearts. Walk the feet together. And then just have a seat. Pull the shins back so that they're more over the ankles and sit your hips back. Take the arms forward. And then draw the shoulders back into the shoulder girdle. Exhale, reach the arms forward. And then draw them back. And feel them draw back, bring the palms together, follow them up. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to the shins as you lengthen. Hands to the floor, let's step that right leg back. Oh, look at that, I forgot. But we'll do it now, coming up if you didn't. And then let's open up, we'll come into warrior two. Let's inhale, we'll lift everything up, stretch. And as we exhale, like we're leading our hands through molasses, really slow down. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, sweep down. Up. And down. Last time. Actually, this time as we come up, we'll hold up, grab a hold of the left wrist. Lift the heart up towards that hand in the air. Lengthen through the left side. And then bend that left knee. Heart's lifting up towards that hand in the air. Breathe. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. Open up, five-pointed start. Drop the shoulders down a little bit. Reach out to the palms again, feeling all that work. Actually, you can even look and see the definition that's starting to build here just by reaching those arms out and trying to make this work really just in the arms, not in the shoulders. So dropping the arms when you need to. All right, we're going to turn our heels in and come into goddess pose. Excellent. Press the palms away from you, sink a little lower. Pull the shins back toward you, keeping the knees right on top of the center of the foot. Hold. Close your eyes here, get lost in this breath and all these feels. Beautiful. Stretch everything long. We're going to turn our heels back out again and fold forward. Now, as you pull forward, pull the legs back towards you, and you don't have to drop your head here, especially if you have low blood pressure, just stay up. And then bend one knee and pull the other leg towards you. Come back up and switch. So this is an inner groin stretch. It does not have to be monstrous for you to feel it. And all we're looking for here are some nice feels. Pull the outside of the foot back towards the midline so you get a more, I don't know, would I say safer, maybe, stretch, definitely more contained. Excellent. Last one. Your last set, and then make your way back to the front of the mat, drawing yourself back to the front. Step back, stretch to downward facing dog. Inhale will come forward into plank. You know you can tap your knees to the floor here. Pull the hands back so you roll a little forward. And then as you slowly lower, outer arms are drawing up and back. You come all the way to the mat. Take your arms wide forward again, get a little bit of work into the shoulders. And then when you feel the shoulders in the shoulder girdle, press down to the feet and peel yourself up into cobra. And this time let's add that little twist that we were doing with our hips before. So press into the right hand and just look over your shoulder, see if you can see your feet. Press down through your feet, feel the pelvis pressing down, the tailbone reaching back. And then press into the left hand or roll back through center. Before we move to the second side, just pull both hands back to reach the heart a little bit more forward. And then start to roll over, looking over your shoulder to the right of you, or the other side of you, seeing your feet. Excellent. Press through the right hand to roll yourself back through center. Lift the heart a little bit and then roll yourself down. Slide the hands back, press hands and knees into the floor, lift up. All the way back through child's pose. Big stretch through the back, take a nice big inhale. And when you're ready, exhale, downward facing dog. Let's take our right leg forward. Inhale, make our way up through a lunge. And open up warrior two. Pull the legs towards each other, feel that containment. And then we're going to inhale, sweep the arms up. And exhale all the way back down. A few of those, inhale up. Remember, we're tracking the right foot right over the center of the, tracking the right knee over the center of the foot up. And exhale. Down, one more like that. And this time as we come up, we'll grab a hold of the right wrist. We'll drop the shoulder back in the shoulder girdle, feel the heart lifting up towards that hand. And then bend that front knee again, reaching the heart up and away from the hips. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. Turn, 5-pointed star. Start to slowly lower the right hand towards the right foot as the left arm lifts up, leaning yourself back against the wall, pulling your feet towards each other. Inhale, come back up, and over to the second side. Nice long stretch from that right heel all the way up to the hand, shoulders leaning back, come back up. First side again. Inhale up, and over to the second side. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up again. 5-pointed star. Turn our heels in. Goddess. Again, the shins draw towards each other, kind of, pulling back. Your glutes are fire. Allows you to sit a little lower without feeling much different. Press the forearms away. Lift the heart up. Breathe. Beautiful. Staying here, I know, for a little longer, Excellent. And then press the floor away when you lift up. We're going to turn the heels out again and pull forward. Let the back of the neck be long here. Remember, you don't have to go any lower with your head than your hips, especially if you have low blood pressure. So lengthening here from tailbone through crown of the head. Pull the legs towards each other and just start this little movement again, bending one knee, pulling the other foot towards you. All right. Now let's come up and keeping the hips level, just start to reach the body over towards that right foot. And notice how much the left hip wants to follow you over, so draw it up and back. So we're trying to keep the sacrum level as we drop our body towards that right leg. I'm going to slide our right hand forward over our head a little bit, and then slide our left hand towards our right foot. Yes. And then see if you can, so the higher up, the easier it is. But just notice, as you slide your hand down, just bend the elbow and see where in that left shoulder blade you're moving into. So the, different spots will affect your shoulder differently. So find the spot that works for you. And then start to bend the left elbow back as you twist the heart around towards the right. Be gentle. Beautiful. Slide, come back up, come through center, breathe. And we'll move to the second side. The left arm slides forward, the right arm grabs hold of whatever on the left side that you can find that works. Beautiful. And then release. Come back up. Bend into one knee, bend into the other. And let's just start to see what happens as we get our legs wider and pull them towards each other. Nice big stretch to the inner groin. And then make your way to seated. So if you want, you can just slide down. We're going to take our right foot, lift the knee up, bring the foot in, and drop the heel. Inhale, lift the knee up, lift the heel up, reach that leg back up. Lift up the left knee, lift up the heel, bring it in. And lift again and out. So I'm doing this with my hands here because, you know, bringing the hands down makes you use the hands. So I'm trying to do this work from my core. Bring the leg in and bring it up. And then we're going to fold forward. Beautiful. Come on back in. This time we're going to lift both knees and bring them back. Let's take hold of that right leg, draw it into the chest. And this, as we pull the leg in, roll yourself up. Come sit at the front of your sits bones. And then you can lift that foot up. Press out to the heel. And feel your belly and your thigh rolling together and lifting the heart up a little higher. Beautiful. Let's stretch that. Hold on to the back of the leg and stretch that leg out. Heart reaching up towards the toes. You can also hold on to the toe here. You can also use a block. Beautiful. We're going to bend that knee back behind us and then reach it forward again and then back behind us a little bit. So opening up that hip so that we can then place that foot in the inner thigh as we move ourselves into Janu Shirshasana. And feel your heart here reaching well beyond your toes, back of the neck long. The bottom, the left ribs reaching back so the right ones feel as if they're level. Breathe. Excellent. One more breath here. Or two. Let's settle for a moment. It's a nice place to settle. Each inhale, feeling a little space or length between each vertebrae, each spine piece. And then a softening of that space. Excellent. We're going to come back up. We're going to lift up that knee again, reach that foot up, low belly in, and stretch that leg back. Position Dandasana. All right, so second leg. Grab hold of the shin, pull it in, lift your body. And then eventually the heel can come off the floor and you can keep going, hold on to the back of the knee. Or you can hold on to the foot. Draw it back and forward and back and forward. Try not to lean back as you draw the leg back so we can open up the hip a little bit. And then draw it back and then bring that foot all the way in to Janu Shirshasana as we fold forward to the other side. Each inhale we feel a little length. Each exhale we feel a little surrender. Excellent. Inhale, come on, back up. Lift the foot up, bring it forward. And then bend both knees as you roll yourself all the way down to the floor. Let's bring the knees into the chest, give them a nice big hug. And just rock the hips so that the hips are rolling a little farther forward away from the shoulders. And then feel that nice long line from the crown of the head to the tailbone. Dropping the shoulders, releasing the shoulders to the floor. Feeling the weight of the legs starting to surrender down into the belly a little bit more. And holding on to your knees, let's just do some nice big circles with the knees. Other direction. Beautiful. And draw the legs in, give them a hug. Place your feet back down on the floor. And then pressing your hands into the sides of your legs, bend your elbows, and just roll yourself up to look back behind you, coming into a little fish pose. Feel the shoulders lift up and over and try to cascade down towards the floor behind you. Again, here, there's not a lot of weight in the head. Most of it is in your forearms. The heart is lifted. The tip of the shoulder blades are helping lift that heart up as the collarbones widen away from each other. As we exhale, we slowly slide the head back down. Feel your low belly drawing down towards the floor as you slide the legs back into your chest. And again, rock those hips a little farther forward. We'll lift the legs up towards the sky. We'll slide the right foot on top of the left and then down so it's just underneath the knee. And then you can bend your left knee. You can hold on to the leg if you want. So what happens here if you feel the outer edges of both hips hugging towards each other behind your legs? Does that change the sensation that you're feeling? One last breath up here. And then take hold of the right leg, drop the left knee to the mat, and just take that right foot up towards the sky, dropping the knee down towards the floor, towards your underarm. Little half happy baby. Try to keep the left side of the sacrum down on the floor. Beautiful, we'll release that. Windshield wiper the legs a little bit. Low back comes in, both knees lift up, and we reach them all the way up towards the sky. Slide the left foot on top, down below the knee. Pressing out to the left heel to the right, draw that right knee to your chest. You can stay without holding on, or you can hold on. Here again, we'll drop our right foot to the floor as we take the left foot out into half happy baby. Do you want to do full happy baby? And lengthening from head through tailbone, soften the shoulders, breathe. Rock around here a little bit. You can start to slowly release the legs to the floor, about as wide as your mat, and just a little windshield wiper side to side here. And if there are any last poses that you want to do before your Shavasana, feel free. You got about 4 minutes, so things that you can do, things that would add here. A nice little twist, holding a twist for about 10 breaths. you can stay in your happy baby for a little longer. Of course, you can make your way down into your Shavasana. Whatever makes sense to you. If you are doing a pose that is one-sided, switch to the other side shortly. And then slowly, if you're not there yet, make your way into your Shavasana. And then feeling the effects of gravity drop you down into the floor. Feeling the heavy weight of your hip bones and backbone. Drop the lower half of the body down a little deeper, and then noticing that downward feeling energy can also encourage the legs to do the same. And then we'll do the same with the top. So finding a lot of bones, so shoulders more than head. Feel the shoulders drop down, feel the rib cage starting to feel heavier. And that should encourage the arms to release, the elbows, the wrists, the fingers. And then be mindful of the feeling of this draw down to the backside of the body. This real warmth and heaviness. You can notice that as you inhale, you can feel that area expand like a puddle. And then as you exhale, you can feel the whole weight of your front body dropping down into this puddle. And just start to feel yourself even melting here. Such a nice, interesting sensation. It's like you're back in drama school. And you can pick an area, like on your next inhale, bring your mind's eye to your shoulders and say, as you exhale, shoulders, you can relax even more now, and just feel that sensation of softness come over the shoulders. And since it's so cool, it's like, okay, let's do every area now. Let's do the belly. Belly, as you inhale and fill up. Know that as you exhale, you can release even more. And feel it drop a little lower. Bring our mind's eye to our facial features here, softening the forehead on the exhale. Let's do that a few times. Feeling that with each exhale, forehead can release just a little bit more of its grip. Let the eyes sink deeper and deeper into the back of the head. Let the ears feel as if they can reach the floor a little bit sooner. Feel the jaws relax, so the cheek muscles relax. Feel the mouth, the chin, and the front of the neck soften. And then for the next few breaths, feel a little open space through the shoulder blades, front. Today's daily Om is called Shifting into Gratitude. We all know what it's like to finally get something we want, only to find ourselves feeling as if we don't deserve it. Whether it's a new car, a new job, or a date with someone wonderful, we suddenly feel as if we're not up to it. Something in us wants to reject this gift from the universe, perhaps because it requires us to think of ourselves in a new way or make us question why we should have something that others don't have. If these feelings of unworthiness are not consciously acknowledged, they can lead us to sabotage ourselves out of the gift being offered. Perhaps the best way to avoid rejection and sabotage is to simply shift into a state of gratitude, bypassing the question of worthiness altogether. The question of whether we or anyone else deserves something is really not in our jurisdiction. These themes play themselves out in ways we can't fully comprehend on the level of the soul over the course of many lifetimes. What we do know is that the universe has its own way of shifting the balance over the course of time so that all things are ultimately fair. We can trust in the process and understand that when a gift comes our way, it's because we are meant to have it. Otherwise, it would not be available to us. Accepting the gift with gratitude and using it to the best of our ability is true humility. When we receive a gift and find that feelings of unworthiness do crop up, we can simply acknowledge the feelings and then remind ourselves that they are beside the point. We might say to ourselves, I am meant to have this. As we allow ourselves to accept the gift, we might feel tenderness in our hearts that naturally shifts into a deep feeling of gratitude. As we sit for a moment, consciously holding the gifts in our hands or in our hearts, we say yes to the universe's many blessings, and we also say thank you. So you can begin to deepen your breath. As the energy starts to move through you, down through your arms and your legs, encourage it with some wiggling. Stretch and yawn in any way that feels great. Stretch right long, stretch left long, and then when you're ready, make your way over onto your side, settling in for a few moments to just notice. Notice the physical body, notice your mindset, notice your energy. Let it all kind of flood you. And here, if feeling great, opportunity to thank yourself. You can make your way up to seated and we'll sit up nice and tall. When you're ready, bring your hands to your heart up into your hands. Just take a moment for gratitude. Opening your heart up into these hands to just feel the heart kind of lifting up as you move into a state of gratitude, noticing all the things that we have to be grateful for. I invite you to think of a few and let that heart swell even more. Take a moment to send some of this gratitude to this beautiful community of ours that keeps us coming back. And we'll end the practice sealing it in with the sound of one Om. We'll take a nice big inhale. Big exhale through the mouth. Inhaling to Om. Just sit with that vibration for a moment, filling you up one last moment for your practice, one last little gift. And as a reminder that our thoughts should always be filtered through our hearts, bring your hands to your head and back to your heart where it belongs. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.